Alright, so I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to use your Wacom tablet with your Adobe Illustrator. You've used Adobe Illustrator before to make a robot, so you should be fairly familiar with it. But I'm going to show you now how to do a trace drawing, what we call digital inking, using Illustrator and a photograph. Okay, so here you can see an example that I've just started really quickly with a pair of one of my favorite shoes. Okay, so all around here you can see how I have drawn on top of it. We are going to do the same kind of drawing, and then we'll just have the drawing like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how that's done. So I'm just going to close out of here. Nope. Alright, so you're going to go File, Open. You're going to go to wherever you have kept your little picture that you've chosen, that you've gotten off of the internet. Okay? And you're going to open it. Okay? So it's going to be sitting here beautifully. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your selection arrow. You're going to click on your actual work. You're going to change the opacity down to 50%. 50, 48, 52, it doesn't matter, okay, just 50% is fine. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to rename that layer as being photos, that you know which layer is which. And press OK. Alright, now you're going to add a new layer. Your new layer is right down here. If we hover over it at just the right spot, it's going to say create new layer. Maybe it won't. Okay, it didn't, but it usually should. So you are going to double click on layer 2 and you're going to call it, you can call it sketch or outline, whatever will help you remember that this is your drawing portion. Okay, we're going to lock the photo layer so that we don't accidentally do anything with it and work only in sketch. Okay, so now you're going to select your brush tool, which is over here. Okay, you're going to go over here and you're actually going to get your different brush tools. So take this flyout menu here, say new brush, okay, and then check, I can never say this properly, calligraphic or calligraphic, whatever, however you say it, the very first one that has to do with calligraphy, and select OK. Alright, you are going to start with a very small diameter. You can toggle this little handle if you want down here, but it's really difficult. So I'm just going to go with 2 points. Okay, I'm going to change this to pressure because we want it to pick up how heavy or how lightly we are touching the tablet with our pencil or with the stylus. Okay, and then take your variation up to 2 points, and that's going to basically change what happens at the end of it, whether it just stops with a hard end, or whether it trails off. And we do want it to trail off, just like a real pencil would. Now, people who are heavy-duty illustrators will actually go through a large amount of different kinds of brushes trying to find the perfect one, there's really no answer. You can play around with it, find out what you like. I do like the roundness to be 100%, so that means that the end is a complete circle, okay, and there is no angle on it. But you can play with this if you do want to change the shape of the end of your brush. That's completely up to you. I'm going to say start with this while you're getting comfortable with stuff. Okay, so we can call this one, we'll call it sketch brush 2 because it's 2 points. 2 points. Okay. Alright, so here it is right here. If you ever want it, that's going to be it there. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to zoom in. Okay, nice and close so you can pick up that detail. Go back to your brush. Okay. And it is a black one, so you're all good to go. Now pick up your stylus, and you can do this whole entire thing with your stylus if you want, but I just prefer to use the actual mouse. And now you can actually start your drawing. Okay, I like to keep my hand right above the Control Z keys. I'll just rest them right on there because I make a lot of mistakes. And as you're going, you do want to make sure that you're not going, oh, I want to create the perfect line, because then it does not very flowing, right? So you want to be nice and sweeping with it, and just try a couple of times. You know, keep going till it's what you want, and that works for me. Okay. Try to press harder for your outlines, because your outlines are going to be darker. The cool thing about Illustrator is it smooths your lines. So if you go jagged, 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 look what it does to it. It does all your work for it. That will not happen in Photoshop, which is why we are using Illustrator and not Photoshop. So make sure you're changing your tablet to where you're comfortable. All right, you might have to swing it around, change things a little bit. Start with your major outlines of everything. Okay, take your time. I mean, have nice smooth strokes, but make sure you're not rushing so much that it's looking like a piece of garbage. Okay. You can change your stroke width if you want to. You can go in here and you can change things around, right? Make it change the width, so it'll take up the 3 point, right? And then start doing this, and you can see it's much heavier. Okay. You can go back to stroke, and I'm using my stylus to do all of this as well. Okay, so you can change the things there. You can also change a color if you want to, although it doesn't seem to be letting me here. I'm not sure why, but that should be something you can do. Again, just keep playing around with it and having fun. So I'm going to go back to my small one. Stroke and 2 point, which is better. Okay, and then just keep going this way. Alright, and let's say I want to do some details. I'm going to take it down even to 1 point, and then I can do some nice light details. Okay, remember, just keep your finger hovered over that Control Z. And pick up what you don't want. Okay, and that is the basics of doing a drawing.